I, oh, magnify the Lord, for he is worthy to be praised. Oh, magnify the Lord, for he is worthy to be praised. Hosanna, blessed be the rock, blessed be the rock of my salvation. Hosanna, blessed be the rock, blessed be the rock of my salvation. Good evening. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Thought I'd come in with a little hint. Hey, Frankie. How are you? Mm. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I thought I'd come in here and have a chit chat with y'all this Friday night. Nah, I ain't ready for bed yet. Mm. Mm-hmm. Any other lives going on tonight? I mean, there are some, but anything interesting? Anything else coming on tonight that's interesting? Anything? Any other lives out there? Like having any kind of conversation out here that will draw people interest? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's my sister texting me. Her and her husband was in a car accident, and okay, her husband was in a car accident, and they still ain't get a toll yet. And they had this accident since this morning. They still waiting on a toll. And I think she's telling me that he didn't pay his car insurance or something. Oh, oh, that person is on Frankie. That fraud. Mm, good. Mm-hmm. You know these sport channels around this R. Kelly sector. Some of them clickbait. Ain't got nothing to do with R. Kelly. Talking about R. Kelly gonna talk to them. R. Kelly got an appeal going on, people. He is not talking out here to nobody. So don't fall for the clickbait. Don't. That man just trying to fight. Oh, Rated R. Yeah, I was on there for a minute listening to Rated R, but I thought I'd just come on to my own channel. You know, come on over here to my own channel now that I got like, how many new subscribers? Wow. I think I got about 20 new subscribers. And I'm glad they over here. And boy, oh boy, I'm looking for at least 200 more. So I can hit that 1K. Why not? Everybody else trying to hit it. I'm trying to get that 1K. I ain't gonna get it going on everybody else's channel. Promoting they work. Ain't nobody helping KC McDaniel out but you, Frankie. Nobody helping me out but you. You being true to the game. But yeah, I ain't going over there to that fraud. I ain't talking about rated R. I'm talking about somebody else. They been moving kind of, I'm like looking at them like kind of suspect. Because all they keep talking about is his NDNY trial and his Chicago trial and the women and the judges and I'm like this. Let Jennifer Bonjean and her team handle it from here on now. There's nothing more we can do. There's really nothing more but support him, write if we still want to write him, and keep up on his updates or whatever. There's really no more we can do but keep praying. We gotta keep praying. And the more we talk about it, the more frustrated we're gonna get. And the more they're gonna come back with more new tricks up their sleeve. So sometimes you just gotta sit quietly and just wait on God. Just wait on God. And let our prayers move. Stay silently in prayer. Don't keep trying to talk about all that old stuff. Well, anyway, I'm just saying, some people making it more worse than for him. Like some of the conversations they have going on their channel. And I said that when the time I celebrated his birthday, I'm praying and hope this be the last R. Kelly birthday party that I will have to do on YouTube. And that he'll be home. Yup. And he'll be home. And some of his fans and so-called supporters acting like they don't want that man to come home so they could still be on here making content about him. So people could give them views and likes. And they could get some cash apps maybe. But I'm going to talk about Jesus. Okay? I'm going to talk about the goodness of the Lord. And how he's been good to me. So let's get right into it. Because I know I put on my title is the black card becoming invalid. Because we all know what's been going on around the news with this black woman, Fannie Willis, and her lover. I'll say lover. Nathan Wade. And they hearing about taking Trump down, coming against Trump for him stealing votes in Georgia. He stole some votes from the Democrats in Georgia. I don't know about all that. Like I told everybody from before, I ain't all that politically inclined. I never really did too much politics. Never really, involved myself too much with much politics. But I know one thing. I know Jesus. And maybe sometimes God is trying to tell us something. You know what I'm saying? Black people need to get it together. Because all we do is fight among each other. And lately, I don't think God's been pleased with what's been taking place in the. I can't talk about everybody else's church, okay, or what they doing in they false religion and how they been playing on people's souls and playing on people, you know, in the church or whatever. I can talk about what I know about my own people because those are the people that I went to church in fellowship mostly almost all my life. And basically, I grew up in the black church. And then I see all the time the same old, same old. And I ain't saying it don't go on in any other denominations. I ain't saying it don't go on with other people race and other people creed or whatever. But I'm talking about the black church, okay? These so-called religious leaders, they have taken advantage of the poor people in the community. Some of them, they all about the elite. The elite, and that's not what Jesus was about. Jesus was not only about the elite, Jesus was about the oppressed, the poor, the rich, the blind, the lame. He was about everybody. He was about everybody. Okay. Anybody that was being overlooked or treated where there was injustice. Put it that way. Jesus was never about it. This thing was never about Jesus about color. But of course, Jesus had to deal with coming to call out his own people first, okay? Before he could deal with any other people and they nonsense, Christ had to deal with his own. You know, you get it? He had to deal with his own. He had to come to his own people first, okay? And then the Gentiles. If you read your scriptures, you ain't got to fight with me about this. And I told this to people this morning on my prayer, in the morning prayer and scripture reading and Bible study in the morning. You know, it's good to have a word with the Lord in the morning before you leave out for work because you never know what your day going to turn out to be like. So I always try to give people some hope and encouraging people in the word of God before they leave their home. Don't take your life for granted. Tomorrow ain't promised to you. You don't know what's going to happen on this day. So before we leave out the outdoors, we should always pray. Okay? And it's always good to have fellowship with the Lord. And that's what I do. In the morning, I'm moving into doing more stuff like that. And I've been feeling a whole lot better about myself. You know, I've been finding myself more and more growing, stronger and spiritually stronger. Because there's a spiritual warfare out here. Yes, there is. And I know I don't want to go out in the world and I want to just be prejudiced, prejudge people, and just don't want to help somebody because they don't look like me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be in that kind of mindset. Or somebody won't want to help me if something is happening to me and don't want to help me because I don't look like them. You see what I'm saying? But the thing is about what's right. You know, doing what's right each and every day, trying to do the best to make your way in. I'm climbing up on the rough side of the mountain, and I'm doing my best to make it in. We all climbing up that rough side of the mountain, right? So, like I was saying, we see this thing going on about this Fannie Willis and Nathan Wade, and they, you know, coming up against prosecuting Trump for stealing votes so that Trump won't win office of presidency because they feel he's a fraud, he's a cheat, he's a liar, he's a racist, and all those other nice, not so nice things, okay? To run this country. I don't even care what color you are. It's all about who gonna be the best man to run. Hi, how are you, Jackass? It's really all about who gonna be the man that's gonna stand strong in the army of the Lord to do what's right for the American people. And when I say the American people, I'm talking about those of us who were born here through our, who ancestors paved the way for America. I ain't talking about just black people. I'm talking about there's white people who families who made sacrifices. There's Latino families that have made sacrifices as American. They ancestry came from somewhere from Spain or hardworking American people. Amen. We need somebody that really got the love for this country to stand in the front line to fight for the American people. Okay? Tired of giving our wealth and resources and everything else to people that don't give a darn about us, that disrespect us, that come in this country and they beating up on police officers and they get arrested and they out and they not serving no time for doing a crime, and then they sticking their finger up at the American government. You need to go back to your country. You need to go back to where you came from. You don't have to be here. You free to leave at any given time. I'm talking about the American people. I ain't talking. You could be an American Chinese. You could be American Japanese. You could be an American. I'm talking about who's going to stand up for the American people. Point blank. Period. It ain't about no black card. Nothing. It's about America. Everybody. It's about every American citizen. Enough is enough. That's what this is about. We tired of you want to pull the black card. Like, the black people are the only people who suffered by our economy here, who's losing their jobs, and their jobs are being outsourced and going over to other places for cheaper labor or whatever. They trying to, pay somebody your job and pay them less and bring them here illegally to do it. So this ain't only got to do with us. This got to do with the American people. Okay. And we right now know Biden ain't been doing a great job, okay? Because if he was, this wouldn't have been happening. And some people say, oh, well, Trump messed that up before Biden even got there. Trump did this before Biden even got there. We saw how that man been speaking to the public. We know that Biden right now ain't operating too well with a mind. We know that Biden is worn out and tired and old and acting all wimpy. They ain't do nothing but giving everything to people overseas and in the foreign countries and trying to help them and bring them over here and give them your jobs where they gonna pay them less money so that they can do your job and they could get citizenship and they could get votes. Okay? They don't even have to go through the process of the immigration process of finding out if they got some kind of criminal background where they came from. Don't know nothing about these people. Just bring them on over here so they could take your job and get housing. And your tax dollars is paying for it. Okay? So it's about the American people. So stop it with the black card. Stop it with the black card. Okay? Black people need to start working hard and pulling together in their families and doing what we all need to be doing as American people. Or we want our jobs back in America. And we want to fix our families. Okay? We ain't got time for that no more. Okay? These people are coming here, like Trump said. And not only Trump didn't have to say it, they showed us. And if Trump is setting up anything evil, just so he can get votes, and so he could get in office, God will deal with him. Because one thing you can't do is play on the hearts of God's people. Don't trespass against thine divine majesty. And if you playing on the hearts of people, thank you, Rose. But you playing on the hearts of people, and just for you can be elected as president, God will deal with Trump. But right now, we're desperate. And right now, he's all we really got, to be honest with you, at this time. Because you came at his man and you was just messy. You didn't do anything good for yourself. How could you do anything good for us to believe the crap that you got out here about Trump when you out here running around with somebody else's husband and spending the taxpayer dollars for you and your lover, Fannie Willis, to have your romance? That don't look good. And then get up in the church to justify your behavior in the audience of God's people. And these people promoting this type of behavior, this didn't look good. It just didn't look good. And especially when you did it up in the church, of not accepting correction for your wrongdoings, not even repenting, not even showing no kind of humility. You was just as proud to accept that award, and you got up there and you try to justify it with scriptures and whatever sermon you gave or whatever when you accept that award. When you could have said, I'm so humble that you all feel this way about me, but I don't feel this way about me, and I don't feel I deserve this. I done something wrong. I should have checked my own doors. I should have not left any room for reproach. And I haven't been honest with you. Me and Nathan haven't been honest with you. You would have showed humility. And guess what? The real church of the doors would have been open. And God's favor would have been there on you. But when you show proudness, arrogance, conceitedness, it shows that you reprobate, nothing is tugging at your heart. How do you expect people to show you any kind of, there's some who have shown that kind of love to you, humility. That say, well, she made a mistake, and some people I saw right in the chat and everything, some hard-hearted, nasty folks. They don't care, hurting other people, and they just feel that they did something that ain't nobody else's. It's God's business. It is everybody's, but it is God's business, because we got to stop doing that to other human beings. You hurt another woman. You took her husband. You got in between her marriage with the problems that she was having in her marriage with her husband. And instead of you showing humility and everything else, you went on, accepted the award boldly and proud. And then, while you was in that preliminary hearing to bring these charges against President Trump, former President Trump, you did it so arrogant and a typical black woman thing. Something that they would expect of us to do. And all you had to do was be humble and say yes or no. But You don't know until you walk in a person's shoes. Girl, I don't want to walk in your shoes at all. I don't want to be in no political assignment like that. I will never want to be in a political assignment or do anything dirty to try to get ahead. Okay? If it can't come with clean hands and with a clean heart and a clean conscience, I don't want it. I don't want it. Because I'm sure you didn't get there through your intelligence. That Nathan is probably the only one we heard of. But I'm sure there probably was some more you was banging the headboard with. You know, I'm just saying. Sometimes when I'm looking at these women that sit up here and they talk about they so powerful, they want this position of power and everything else like that. Only God knows some of the things they do to lose integrity and they value worth of doing to get ahead. And that goes for not just only for women, but I'm only going to speak to the woman because, see, I can't have authority over the man. See, somebody had to check me with that this morning on my live. But see, my Bible thing is not about the man. It's, I mean, if you want to come in and listen, that's fine. But basically, I'm talking to the young women. Now, if the men want to come in and join in the conversation, then that's fine. But this person was like, woman, I know that, but I know that verse in the Bible that the woman can't have authority over the man. No, we cannot. No woman cannot be the preacher. And I'm 100% with that because it's in God's divine order. But I'm just having this conversation with my fellow women out here. I'm not having this conversation with the men. The men, they do their own thing. But if the, like I said, I mean, I don't mind the men coming here and joining in the conversation. But you know, men don't get supposed to be about a bunch of women. It ain't no real man anyway. Okay. Ain't no real, because women, you know how we are. This is Women's Month anyway. March is Women's Month, so I'm going to have a lot of conversations around certain things and discussions in the Bible to help out some young sisters out here, some new young women out here, and even some old if they want to join in. But hi, live laughing volleyball day 4. You here for day 4? Keep on coming. You just might win that wrench. It's good to see you though. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. Thank you for stopping in, checking on me today. Hi, live laughing volleyball. I love volleyball too. I love volleyball. I can't wait till the summer get here. My old butt gonna be right up there. Slam, slam, slam. My family reunion come. We be having our little volleyball thing. I be having fun. Yeah. I've been looking at me in those short shorts. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, like I was saying, I was having this conversation this morning. A young man had to come in. I don't know, some Chris, whatever. It was a young lady came in. You know, she was talking. You know, she wanted prayer, um, and she wanted to just like share with me something that she was going through, and she also been sober and something. I didn't get all. I didn't read everything because see, I'm in the morning. I can't really, get into it as much because I'm timing myself because I got to get out, get to work, and do all of that washing and everything else like that, and maybe try to get me some coffee and maybe fix me a like breakfast sandwich or something in the morning. So I really don't have really time to really engage in conversations with everybody in the chat. But if I do see something in there and I feel that, and I direct them to the scripture, I said, look, read the scriptures. They ask me my opinion, whatever, how I felt, and I'll say, well, if it's going like this kind of way for you, um I don't think that's what God wants for you. You know what I'm saying? And especially, if it's like people with guns and military jobs and jobs that deal with anything. I won't do a security guard. I can never do that job. I'd rather starve and die of hunger before I take a job as a security worker. And that's the God honest truth. I can't do it because I'm just not the gun person. I'm not for guns. All right. I'm just not the kind of person who believe in having any firearms around me, even though my husband, but I tell him in a minute, don't let me know it's around because I'm scared of them things. Because you never know when, people, I've seen people. That's okay, Frankie. You good. You good. You can always watch the replay. I'll leave the replay up for people to watch and leave a comment if they like, if they listen to it, and share whatever they want to share as well. I'm not the gun person. Okay, never liked it, never was about it, never been my thing. It's funny that I wanted to go into the military. I wanted to go into the Marines, and then, of course, God put me on another detour, and I got married instead of going into the. And I think that that was the plan that God had for me, because God knew that I wasn't going to be about no guns. I was going for the fact that I wanted to study under getting my education in the military, the government paying for it, as far as like going to be a criminal defense attorney. So God gave me a different assignment. Not what I wanted to do, but God had other plans planned out for my life, and I think He wanted to save me. 'Cause I'm not a gun person at all. Because I always feel that I could get in a fight with somebody. Next thing you know, I got that gun. I feel so powerful, and do something that I'm going to regret for the rest of my life. So I stay away from anything I know that's dangerous. Especially, you get emotional and everything. It's crazy how some people never will feel that their own gun will turn on them. Policemen have killed their wives. Police women have killed their husbands, lovers, boyfriends, whatever. People's children have got a hold of their gun and shot them. you know? Oh, yeah. Look at that young girl who lost her life with that football player. Something Javon Burton or whatever his name was. And they had a young baby and everything. It seemed like they were having such a great relationship, and he was playing for the Kansas City Chiefs. And their relationship became very, what you would call tumultuous, okay? They used to always go to gun ranges and shooting with the guns and doing all this stuff with guns. And don't you know he shot her? He shot and killed her. Jabon, what was his name again? Burton or something like that. And the young girl, his girlfriend at the time, babe mother of his child, shot her up. And his mother was there at the house. And then after he killed her, he killed himself. And the child was left, a young baby was left without their mother, without a mother, and without the father. It was sad when I followed their story. See what guns can do? They said when they came in that house to investigate the crime scene and everything, they said they couldn't believe how many guns was in that house. Oh yeah. I'm just bringing you that story. But there were so many others. So many others. That guns could be. Like, people don't kill. You gotta have a gun to protect you. No, you need Jesus. Just keep praying. Pray. And God will remove whatever evil. And God will cover you with the shadow of His wings from all the evil that might be around. I mean, evil is out in the world, of course. We know that. But you pray and ask God for giving you traveling grace, mercy, and safety. You gotta trust and believe that God is able. He's able. You know, you can't, you know, want to invite evil thoughts into your head, and those things will come for you. They will. It's like how I got over. My soul looks back and wonder how I got over. How I got over. Oh, remember those nice hymns? Those hymns really got me through because when you think about those hymns, they stuck with you. You didn't understand, but as time went on by and by, you understood what Grandma was saying. It's Grandma prayers was all about. Oh yeah, how I got and those old spiritual hymn, and I was listening to not to change the subject. I was listening to this. I don't know what he is. Is he a YouTube? He's on YouTube. He's on some kind of platform, podcast, whatever. His name is Jesse Lee Patterson, and he's this personality out here on the internet. And a lot of his conversations are around black people, how we were so much better when we were really black than where we have become after civil rights, and how some people, you know, sold us out, how we gave up all the great things that we had, even though we were struggling, we were poor in the South, we were picking cotton, but still in all, we were progressing. We took education more seriously. Families spawned stronger together. The community, everybody helped out everybody. If you seen somebody going through a hard time, you came in with whatever resources you had and you brought that to that person's needs. When someone was going through loss and mourning, you were there to comfort them. And I mean, truly comfort them. You brought food to their house for the family to eat. You brought whatever kind of envelope with money in it, if it's $2, $5, if the family needed money to help bury their loved one. There wasn't no such thing as going on any kind of what they call that thing they go on now. Somebody put in the chat where people ask for money to bury their loved ones now. People really truly had the funeral procession, where you would see the old people, and people would be dressed in black, but they'll have the young people dressed up in white, because young people really haven't lived through a lot of life experience to really know how dark the world can become sometimes, how cold the world can be, and how evil the world can be at sometimes. But when they had a funeral procession, they would make sure the ministers, the ministry would lead, and then the family of that person will be behind from the old all the way back. I used to have a painting, and I gave it to a family members of mine, and I should have kept it by Vanetta Honeywood, and it was called The Funeral Procession. We would see the whole family going up the hill with carrying that loved one in the and they all lined up in the funeral procession, and everybody did it with dignity. And you'll see like the band, you'll see the musicians, of course, with the body going up, and then you see the ministry, and then you'll see the elders, and then you'll see the whole line of people following that body to be buried up the hill. And it used to be like that with the black family in the black, when we were colored, put it that way. Everybody just took care of each other, really, and did it with sincerity, with love, and it was just beautiful. And if the young girl got pregnant and Those days, she messed around with a boy and she got in trouble. That father would come and step to whoever that man was and say, "Look, you ain't gonna put my girl in trouble. It ain't going." They of course sometimes it turned out not to be such a good idea because he become very abusive to that woman, and he, the color purple, coming abusive and cheat on her, and you know, you can't force people to love somebody if the love isn't real. But the thing is that he has to have a willing heart to do that. You can't force somebody to want to marry somebody because they got them pregnant. But the thing was in those days, but is it changed from forcing them to they take the baby, they raise the baby, the grandparents will raise that child of the young girl so she can have another chance and she'll go out and meet another man and a family or whatever and start having her own family from somebody that she can meet that truly gonna, accept her and love her. But sometimes they wouldn't allow the child to still go live with her in her new marriage because they feel that the child will become kind of like he will take some kind of anger towards her and her child that she had from a previous relationship because men are funny. Men are funny. So anyway, and people did what they had to do, but we did that among ourselves. We did what we had to do to take care of ourselves. We didn't ask for any handouts from the government. We educated our own children. We worked and we put money towards their education. We saw that in Roots when his father was like, be a sharecropper. And he was like, no, Dad, I want something more than just being a share. And he struggled, the young man. And through his good deeds and the goodness that he carried from his family, teaching him biblical principles and stuff, he was able to get where he wanted to go. And people helped him along the way. People gave along the way. And he served his country. He went in the military and everything. He came out. He got honors of doing his job for serving America, fighting in the at that time I guess it was the World War, I think it was World War II or what, I'm not sure. But it's a lot of great things that we should have discovered about ourselves through this past. You still can do. Black history is all throughout the year. But just to get a jump start, February was our jump start of learning about who we were as colored people, as black citizens and black Americans. We don't have to keep running around here using the race card all the time. It's in us. You know what I'm saying? We can be just as great as anybody else that come to America that made it better for their families and for everybody can get a piece of the American dream. You don't have to beg for handouts. You don't have to fight for, this is what this Jesse dude is talking about. We shouldn't have to keep fighting and begging and doing this and doing that. Just show goodness and mercy. Just show goodness and grace. You don't have to be so angry, so militant, so rebellious, and everything against the American government when things just ain't being handed over to you. Sometimes you just got to get out there and do what the other people come in here that come as immigrants do, is to work and pull together. Pull together. Pull your resources together. You don't have to go out there and every time a new designer pair of shoes come on, sneakers come on, that's the first place we want to invest our money. Now they got this new thing going on with these gold Trump sneakers. I mean, come on, black people that do stuff like that. It's just stupid. You want a good education. You want to get accepted to one of the best colleges, whatever your studies might be, whatever your dreams are or your endeavors. You can make that happen in America. You can make that happen in America. Even if you want to take your education and travel and go other places of the world to study abroad, you can make that happen in America. You shouldn't have to continue to fight and ask and beg the government for a handout. America is the best. Because if it wasn't, why these people want to be over here? but they want to hate America, but they still want to live over here in America. They still want to be here in America. They still want to get an opportunity here and everything else like that. Come on, think about it. So if you really, really that angry with America and you don't like the way you see the injustice being done to you, whatever, and you feel that you ain't getting your affirmative and your whatever reparations and stuff, then maybe you need to go on over to the Africa and ask them can they give you what they owe you for selling you over here to America. Don't let me go there now. They gave you to the white man. That sold you to the white man. Think about it. You know, that sold you into slavery. Oh yeah. When you hear the truth, it's gonna make you feel real bad. Some of these reverends now are selling you into that stuff. Oh yeah. That's what I say, read your scriptures. Because it ain't about God. But some of them are preaching. It's about them. Power and control. Power and control. So you know what? Your girl KC done said enough. It's Friday night. It's been a long week. And this has been a long week. I'm ready to turn in for the night. And maybe if God's willing tomorrow, I'll be back on again. I'll definitely be on in the morning for Saturday morning prayer. My prayer starts at it's Saturday. It's going to be a little late on Saturday. But hit that notification so you can get my videos when I do come live. You know. And I'm going to say thank you to all my new subscribers. I'm going to do my best to keep you here. I'm really going to do my best to keep you here. Please hit the like button as you come in or you leaving out of this video, of this live. I really, really appreciate it. But I just want to give y'all something to think about. You know, I sprinkled around some things, but I came across this man's conversations on his podcast or whatever he do, and it was interesting. People find him weird. They find him attacking black people. That he don't want to be black. He says I'm black. I'm a black American and I love my country. And I'm right there with him. I love my country too. I love America. I ain't got no other choice. This is where I was born. This is all I know. I love my country. I love it. I love my black too. But I got a different type of black. I love my black. But I'm black and I'm proud. Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. There's a certain type of proud, though, where you believe in working hard and doing the right thing to make America great, to keep America great, so we can remain number one. You just don't know you just don't know how great America is. You just don't know. So don't listen to the black card. When people just looking for a handout on a pass. You know, except you're wrong. You was wrong as the day is long. And you was hurting another black sister. What you did to Nathan Wade's wife. That was a sister, you know. Oh, I'm on, what? This is YouTube, sweetie. Yep. I'm on TikTok now? What? I ain't got no TikTok. I don't do TikTok. I don't know if my videos circulate on TikTok. I don't know that. But, you never know. I'm just saying, I'm tired of people using the black card instead of accepting what they doing is wrong, and black people should be correcting it. The black church, religious people need to be correcting it, because if they really about doing the work of the Lord and serving God, they will go strictly to that Bible to correct her in her wrongdoings, and especially fornicating and committing adultery or whatever. Correct both of them. Okay? Don't put them on no podium or in no pulpit with that talking that false, that false stuff, that Jezebel spirit or whatever. Should have correct that woman. They did that woman such a disservice. And I don't hate Fanny. I have no hate for her whatsoever. I pray for Fanny. I pray for this young black this black woman. I don't hate her. I don't hate her at all. I wouldn't want to be like her. I know that much. I don't want to be nowhere near like her. Okay? So, with that being said, y'all, let me get out of here and I'll save this conversation for some other time. So, you all have a blessed and wonderful Friday night. Hit that like button as you going in or out. And also share and subscribe. See you when I see you. Love you. Peace.